What's up, everybody? Welcome to Truth Guitar Method. My name is Joel. You can call me Joel, son of Cesar. And yes, absolutely, yes, my dad's name really is Cesar. It has come down to lesson number 5. Before we go on, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe, hit the little bell, bing, and hit a like. Make sure that you get notified when my next videos come out. So, if you don't know by now, then that means you're not watching my videos, and that makes me sad. But if you are watching, make sure that you go down to truthguitarmethod.com. The website's been up now for about a full week and a half. It is fully updated to be current with our lessons here at Truth Guitar Method channel on YouTube. And you can find some free stuff. You can find a way to communicate with me. Or you can even take a personal lesson with me over Skype and we'll figure that out. It also has links to these videos and a little bit about who I am. So, lesson 5, it covers on the scales. We talked about the chromatic scale. Today, I'm going to give you the one scale who will be a part of your life forever. And that is the major and minor pentatonic scale. Now later on, we'll go ahead and talk about major and minor and what that is. But I'm really just gonna give you a pattern so that you get used to doing this pattern and we can get closer and closer to playing something feasible, something other people will enjoy. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the chords. Now, I'm just gonna present you the chords. We're not gonna talk about the theory behind it. We're not going to talk about why. I'm just going to show you the chords. You're going to play the chords. You're going to learn the chords, memorize the chords, because again, we're building this guitar routine to form around this musical concept that you're going to finish with, where you're going to use everything that we have been talking about, everything from your left hand, everything from your right hand, everything from your sinking hands, everything from your scales, everything from your chords, all for this one musical moment. So all you need to know is that all these things are tied in together. So enough talky talk. Let's get to the lesson. Oh, by the way, today I will be using the acoustic guitar. So here we are, lesson 5. And we're not going to go ahead and talk about the left hand or the right hand or the sinking hand. What we're going to talk about is we're going to kind of expand a little bit on the scale portion of your routine. Now, right now, all you know is the chromatic scale. And my hope is that you've been working on the chromatic scale to make your fingers a little bit more nimble. And so here's what it should be looking like. Of course, you got to maintain the speed. Now the chromatic scale is great, but we're using it to make your fingers a little more nimble. What I want you to be is a little bit more musical. And the only way to do that is to give you a scale that means something. So I'm going to give you a pentatonic pattern that you're going to do. The pentatonic pattern is super easy, and we're going to use it right now in the 5th position. Now, 5th position means we start here and all fingers go down, which means all the notes in this area are fair game. So the pentatonic scale is so easy. We've got 5-8, 5-7 on the 5th string, 5-7 on the 4th, 5-7 on the 3rd, 5-8 on the 2nd, and then 5-8 on the 1st. Now the 5 and the 8, I'm talking about the 5th fret and the 8th fret. Or you can think of it like this, 5th position, and you can think of it as 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Now those numbers are the fingers that I'm using. Here's what I want you to do. As part of your music extension, I want you to go to truthguitarmethod.com, go to free stuff. Scroll down, find the one that says C major, A minor, pentatonic scale. Download it and then read it. It's very simple. So I'm assuming that right now you've already warmed up your left hand, you've warmed up your right hand, you warmed up the sinking hand, and then you went on to step 4, which is the chromatic scale. After you play the chromatic scale, then you're going to practice this particular scale. Both ascending and descending. Now, a good idea, because I like to focus more on technique, is don't play the whole scale and try to sound cool while you're doing it, right? What I want you to do is I want you to purposely force your hand to sync along to it. So really good ideas when you're doing it is I want you to play each note 4 times. So 5 would go 8, 5, 7. Because right now we're trying to work on your fingers being more nimble and syncing. I need to shut up now because I am not alternating properly. 4 times each. And like always, you want to use a metronome. 60, 70, 80, so on. If you've gotten faster, then go faster, but don't lie to yourself. Once you're done with 4, you can do it 3 times per note. Now I'm going to go at 100, but I'm going to kind of go at a triplet speed, which is a little bit faster. So 100 triplets would go. Now this is a process that you do while you're learning the scale. Then you do it 2 times per, so duples, right? I'm going to go at 100, but I'm going to go a little quicker. Here we go. Once you can do 4, 3, 2, then you attempt 1 at whatever speed you're doing. That's the pentatonic scale. Now, go to the website, download the page. Here's what you need to know. This pattern is both a major pattern and a minor pattern. When I say major to you, I'm talking about a happy sound. Or. When I say minor to you, I'm talking about a more depressing sound, sad. Those are just the characteristics of a major and a minor. Nobody qualifies them like that. I'm just saying those are the characteristics of a major and a minor. So if I play this scale, it's both a major and a minor. The word penta means 5. And the 5 notes we're playing right here are A, C, D, E, and G. And those notes are shared by both the major pattern, which is C major, and they're also shared by A minor. But instead of playing the full scale, we kind of just combine the ones that are similar and stuck to that. We call that the pentatonic scale. 5 notes instead of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you've got 2 left over. Okay? So that's the pentatonic scale. Go to truthguitarmethod.com, download the page, practice reading it, and use the reading portion as part of your routine when you get to section 6. Anyway, that's the pentatonic scale. It goes right after your chromatic scale. Let's move on to chords. Now, assuming you've done all those things already, left hand, right hand, both hands, scales, then you're working on chords. Right now, I'm going to give you 2 chords that you need. That's it. Now, of course, you have the freedom in the next part of your routine to go search whatever you want. But I'm only giving you 2. And that's what I'm recommending you play. So the chord exercises right now that you've got is this exercise of barring, because when we get to barring, your finger needs to be strong already because it's going to be painful. So the exercise here is to put your finger down on the 5th fret and kind of roll it on its side. And then these 3 fingers can wait on the 1st string or hover, but they are not allowed to move or point out. And the 2nd finger is most definitely not allowed to help the 1st. I see this a lot. That's weakness. So here. Now right now, my fingers are not touching. If you feel your fingers are too weak and you need to put them down, that's fine. But in all honesty, I think for you, it might be a little bit easier to just float them. Just don't allow them to move or stick out, because that'll tell me that you've got some tension, and tension's not good. You're not relaxed, and eventually, you're going to be in pain. So we've got the barre chord exercise. Now we're going to go from 5 to open, and then we're going to go to 6 to open, 7 open, 8 open, 9 open, 10 open, all the way and all the way back. That's how we're extending the chord progression. The chord exercise. So we've got 5, super clear. Try to get them as clear as possible. Remember, you're playing into the guitar, not away. So 5, open, 6, open, 7, open, 8, open, 9, open, 10, open, and then backwards, 9, open, 8, open, 7, open, 6, open, 5, open. I am fully aware that if you are a beginner, yours does not sound like that. Yours might sound something like this. I know that. Take your time, do it slowly, and only put the amount of pressure that you need. Don't overdo it. Just a gentle press, and if it sounds like this, that's fine. But your finger is working out. Don't skip a string. That's fine. Your finger right now is building muscle. It doesn't feel like it, and you might feel like a total failure for it, but it really is working out. But you have to stick to it. So you got to make sure that you try to apply pressure. I'm literally not putting any pressure. It's just a light little touch. Light pressure. So we're adding, right? We were doing just 5 and open. Now you're going to go 5 open, 6 open, 7 open, 8 open, 9 open, 10 open. Remember, open means open strings, nothing's pressed. Backwards, 9 open, 8 open, 7 open, 6 open, 5 open. Even if it sounds bad, stick to it and do it slow. One of these days, it's going to happen. And you're really going to enjoy that sound. You're going to understand what it feels like on your finger, and you're going to understand what it feels like on the right hand, and you're going to understand, man, that's how you're supposed to do it. And that is going to just poison the rest of your fretboard. And it's going to be so addicting, and everything is going to be beautiful. And before you know it, barre chords will be a thing of the past. Now today I'm not going to give you any barre chords, but I'm going to give you 2 chords that I want you to practice. And I want you to start strumming through them. And by strumming, I just mean down strums, up strums, and then the combine. You have to understand you're not 100% ready for strumming patterns. Your fingers are learning how to guitar. Your fingers are building muscle on how to guitar. So we have to take our time. So the first chord is a C major chord. You're going to need this, so make sure you do it. Maybe you already know it. That's great. You can skip on, end the video already. C major, you're going to use your first finger and you're going to press on the second string, first fret. And then your second finger will go on the fourth string, second fret. And then your third finger will go on the fifth string, third fret. Now I'm giving you this version because it's the version that I like, but there are other people out there who will watch this video and get to this point of the video and say that's not a C major. And those people are wrong because it doesn't matter, because as long as the chord is spelled the same way, wait for it, we're going to talk about that later. As long as the chord is spelled the same way, a C major is a C major. Now, if you're wondering what's a chord, think of your English class. Bad memories, right? Think of your English class. Singular and plural. Singular meaning one, plural meaning multiple, right? In music, one note is considered singular. Plural is considered more than one. That was two or more. So a chord is considered the plural of both. That's the C major. A C note is just one. Singular, plural. Now, if you're wondering, well, what about when somebody does this? Is this a chord? No, that's a scale. That is a sequence of notes, not considered a chord. Now, there are other forms of chords, but those are in the way more advanced lessons. So, C major scale. Now, there's a couple of rules here. On the back, your thumb needs to be flat against the neck. It should not be sideways, and your arm should not be holding it like this, and it should not be wrapping around this way. Your thumb is flat, and it's touching, but it's free to move, not hard gripping. The other thing you want to remember is you only press the strings that I'm telling you, at the frets that I'm telling you, with the fingers that I'm telling you. No substitutions, okay? So, here's your thumb. First finger, second string, first fret. Second finger, fourth string, second fret. Third finger, fifth string, third fret. And the others, you gotta make sure that your fingers are not touching. So there's a rule, is when you are playing a chord, 1, only press what you're supposed to press. 2, arch your fingers, okay, over the neck, okay? And the last thing is you want to leave a little space between the neck and when you wrap around. If your hand looks like this, so close together, chances are you're touching. See that first string? It's being touched and I'm thumping. So when I play the C chord, even though I've got the correct thing, the right combination, and I play the C chord, my thumb is all out of place, my hand is all squished up against the neck. Nasty. But if you bring your thumb down and you make that space right here, and you only play what I'm asking you, and you arch your fingers, and you play with the tip of your finger, the part that hurts, and then you strum. At the beginning, you might sound more like this. That's okay, because you're building the strength. Don't worry about that sound. It's gonna come with practice. So we've got C major. Now the other chord I want you to know is A minor. A minor, 2 of these notes are going to stay the same, but the third finger is going to move. So you still have your first finger on the second string, your second finger on the fourth string, second fret, but now your third finger, instead of the fifth string, you're going to put your third finger on the third string, 2nd fret. In other words, right under the 2nd finger, not on the 3rd fret, but right under. And then you've got A minor, sadness. So we've got C major, A minor, C major, A minor. Now, at home, you're going to practice C major this way. 2, 3, 4. Up. 1, 2. Combined now. Then you're going to do A minor the same way. 1, 2, 3, and then up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then combine. Now, once you've practiced C major and A minor, you're going to practice switching between the both, but always leaving a little space in between. Now, a little later in a future lesson, I'm going to show you how you can increase your speed when you're changing chords. So when you're doing this chord, you're going to go ahead and get C ready, right? And you're going to go down strumming only. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you give yourself 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds to get your finger from here to here. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and strum 2, 3, 4, and then strum 2 back to the same place, and 1, 2, and all downstroke. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't go that fast. When you're down with downstroke, you can go. When you're done with downstroke, you can go ahead and do upstroke. 1, 2, switch, and only move the finger you're supposed to. 1, 2, only move the finger you're supposed to. When you're done with upstroke, then you combine the strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you're asking, Joel, you're killing me, man. I just want to jam. I want to get to the hard stuff. Listen to me. You are in the process of training your fingers to do things that they are not used to doing. In this case, you're training your fingers to play a chord properly by arching the fingers, playing with the tip of the fingers, leaving the space, making sure your thumb is in the back. And then on top of that, you're forcing your hand to move. Your fingers aren't ready. It's only been 4 weeks. Now, if you're a guitar nerd, that might be a little bit more, but that's why you have step 6 of your routine, which means go explore, do whatever. So you're training your 2 fingers to stay, and you're training your 3rd finger to move. Now, don't worry. The next chord after this in the next lesson will force all your fingers to have to jump. Can you figure out what chord it is? Leave a comment below if you think you know what chord is coming up after C, A minor, and then, what's coming up? I don't know. Guys, that is all for chords. Let's move on to music. All right, what can I say? There's no music yet. You are in self-express mode. Now, if you took my advice though, and you go to truthguitarmethod.com and you go to free stuff, you can use the C major, A minor, pentatonic downloadable content for yourself as your music reading stuff. Or you can use the C major, A minor, pentatonic scale download as your music portion of your routine. Practice reading the notes, reading tabs, getting used to what that is. And practice. Use a metronome. Guys, the C major and A minor pentatonic, if you've never heard those things before, any advanced guitar player will tell you that they are your bread and butter when it comes to soloing and playing. Because if you don't have a concept of how the fretboard works all across, then you at least always have this one scale you can always depend on, that will always be there, and no matter what you do, it will always sound good. Always. So practice. So your routine right now should be looking: left hand warm up, exercise 1, 2, and 3. Right hand warm up, exercise 1, 2, 3. Syncing warm up, exercise 1, 2, 3. Then you have your scale portion of your routine, which is chromatic scale, pentatonic scale, ascending and descending. And then you've got your chord workout, which is your barring exercise on 5 a couple times, and then you ascend to 10 and then descend back to 5. So 5 open, 6 open, 7 open, and so on. When you're done with that, then you practice your 2 chords, which is C, which has a major or a happy tendency, and A minor, which has a sad tendency. And what chord could be next? I'm not telling you. Leave a comment below if you think you know what's coming up. And then as far as music, you go explore, man. You go do you. Okay? You go do you. Figure out what you want to play. And spend that time with yourself, learning how to read tabs, learning how to read music, learning how to play riffs. But you do music, you do you. Guys, don't forget, use a metronome, and go to truthguitarmethod.com and download that stuff and practice it on your own, and go to SoundCloud and practice with the tracks that are there. Right now there's only 2 tracks, but those things are going to be growing pretty soon as the lessons progress. Guys, thank you so much once again for showing up, for coming, and trusting me with your guitar journey. Guys, I promise you, we are not here to, explore the most difficult thing right now. You're here to get a good foundation and train your fingers. Remember, consistency, awareness, and control. Consistency, awareness, and control. And then, of course, your dedication, how much time you put into it. The more time you put, the better this will be. The less time, the worse this will be. So, that's all. I will see you later. Peace.